Yo, what up? Welcome to the Mid-Range Ain't Dead podcast. This is your guy, Ron Trav.
And it's the coolest one, F. Anderson, with you.
Your boy Ziggy.
No stats
today.
No stats.
No stats.
Okay, no stats.
We off the top today.
Yeah.
Off the top of the dome.
We off. Good job, Zig. We jumping right in with the NFL recap. Bears Packers. I watched this game. The Bears put up a fight, man. They didn't go down like no suckers, man. It was a good first half. I thought, the defense is better than I thought they were. And they really made Aaron Rodgers and the Packers struggle.
Man, the Packers been rolling, man, and this game made me nervous just because of betting reasons. Man, this game was way more competitive than what I thought it was originally going to be. But kind of to piggyback off of what you said, the Bears put up a fight, man. The Bears might have something eventually, when they can get that O-line together for Justin Fields, and possibly some more weapons for him on the offensive side, obviously. They could potentially have something there in Chicago, but the Packers, it's crazy, man, because how we jumped on the Packers after that week one loss to the Saints.
Man, all on their back. Yeah. I was trying to tell you, relax. You heard Aaron Rodgers a couple of years ago.
Hey, man, and it's, and he improved it. He improved. He's right to tell people to relax because they've been rolling ever since. And at this point, I would probably say them and the Rams, I think, would be my NFC favorites right now over the Bucs. I had the Bucs early on, but I don't know. I think they might be having some. I don't think the Bucs are going to be I think they're struggling on defense. I don't know if they're going to be as strong as they were last year on defense, and they're having a lot of health issues on defense as well. So.
Hey, did you just jump off the Cardinals bandwagon after all this time?
No, I never said that they would be in the NFC Championship. I said I like them as a contending team.
Zig, don't forget that.
Yeah, I like that though, man. Way to jump back on me. I appreciate that.
Only undefeated team. Want to see you writing them off. We gonna bring this one back.
Keep receipts.
But it was a great game. I wasn't expecting it to be a great game, honestly. Rodgers stole the show with his comments after his touchdown. I like that in him, though. Letting the crowd know he owned him. He owned him his whole life.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
That was surprising to hear. I thought it was funny. It was hilarious to me.
He said there's a lady in the front row who's giving him 2 middle fingers after he scored, and he just blacked out. He didn't even know what he said.
Oh, he knew what he said.
He knew what he said. I ain't buying that. Now. Come on. You know what you said.
Come on now, dog. You know what you said.
Just know if you say something to Aaron Rodgers this year, he's saying something back. He ain't holding back on him.
He liable to black out. But I ain't mad at him for the comment, but I've never been that kind of guy. I'm not a talker. What I'm saying? I'm here to play. I don't really do all that yapping, so, but I understand when people talk to you and you hear them and you did something good, you allowed to react.
He got that, undersized athlete in him where you ain't letting nothing slide.
Who cares, really? Who cares if some fan giving you middle fingers? Like, who really cares? But
only if you see it.
But
if you see it, then what I mean.
Yeah, I've been giving. I've been.
Say you've seen some things in your experience. Yeah, I'm sure.
They called us all kind of names, and they threw stuff on the court, and I done ran off the court thinking I'm about to get hit with a click pin. They was clicking pins and throwing them at people, throwing coins and everything else. So
remember that Ole Miss Tennessee game this past weekend.
He got hit with a golf ball.
Yeah, he got hit with a golf ball. It was doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Golf balls go about 400 yards if you hit it right. So you got a good arm.
Who showed up to the game with the golf ball, the bottle of mustard? It was some random stuff out there.
Wow. So
they
crazy
was just ravaging people's book bags.
But what's so crazy is none of those students were even close to being in college the last time he was at Tennessee. So it was like they had to get it from somewhere. Like, he used to coach here, so go ahead and give him all this shit.
Give him all you got.
A lot of it ain't make it out of the bottom bucket onto the field. People just throwing stuff off the upper deck into the crowd. So
that's wild. That was a big win, man. But let's
Yeah.
move on. Let's move on to your boy Patty Mahomes. I'm about to start calling him Apple turnover. That boy is giving it up, man. He is giving up so many turnovers. This unprecedented because last year he had 6 all year, and now he has 8 into 6 games. I think I've seen someone refer to him as the NFL Steph Curry. How the game comes so easy to him.
That's pretty accurate though. But when you refer to him as the NFL Steph Curry, I think you would include like some of the reckless stuff that Steph does from time to time, and I think that's kind of just what we're seeing from Pat Mahomes. He's just really reckless, like, you know what I mean, especially this year.
You know, he just
what I mean?
he literally just threw the ball. He was
But
about to
but
get
in the
second.
NFL, reckless decisions could bite you more than they can in the NBA.
For
Not
sure.
saying that they can't in the NBA. All depends on when you do it. But seeing how turnovers really swing momentum in the NFL,
You can lose the game
yeah,
with the turnover.
this is a problem, I think, for Kansas City. And I don't know. I'm kind of concerned. I don't feel like this is a, you know what I mean, because they keep winning. Well, for the most part, they're winning. You know what I mean, they're going to have a couple kind of easy games here coming up, but I don't think this is something that if I was a Kansas City fan, I'd be concerned about, because I know yesterday that game, you know what I mean, if Washington wasn't just trash, they probably would have lost that game. But you know,
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm interested to see. Like they got the Giants in 2 weeks. I want to see if he gonna try to play left-handed or what he gonna try to do, because
is it in New
he
York?
ain't showing no respect for the game at all. It's in Kansas City,
It's in
so
Kansas
he
City.
might wild out and do something you ain't never seen before.
Go
And
look pass from the 50-yard line.
they're 3-3, which that should be beneath their expectation. So while it's not the worst record in the world, they're still in last place in the division right now.
They're in the toughest, but that division, they're gonna start beating each other up here soon.
Yeah, but for them to be 3-3 now, and they only lost 2 games last season, 3 if you count the Super Bowl, like it shows that this could flip on them real fast if they don't take care of the ball. I know they
could definitely end up in a wild card game and not, you know,
Not even make the playoffs.
and possibly not even make the playoffs. So
yeah, the North is looking a little less strong right now, and we're gonna get to that later. So like I think there'll be a spot for the AFC don't seem to be as crazy deep as it originally looked. So
it definitely seemed like.
We're going to touch on how the disparity in NFL is kind of off right now. Like, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Man, we talked about this game extensively, and I just couldn't believe how the Browns played.
I couldn't.
you said it last week. You had the conviction. You couldn't believe that we couldn't decide.
Yeah, like we was off. Right?
I don't know why it was so difficult for you fellas, because I kind of knew where this was going to go.
I couldn't believe not that they lost, but how they lost. Like, losing the game, it's going to happen in sports, but how they lost the game and the turnovers that Baker had, I just can't believe it. Like, you already in the hole and you're not taking care of the ball. Like, I was watching this game. He's dancing around in the pocket, like, just dancing around like he liked that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't like that, Baker.
Tyler.
Like he Lamar. Like he's any big athletic quarterback. You're small and unathletic. Throw the ball away. Like you escape the sack, throw the ball away. And so just to see him play like that, and then on top of that, to see OBJ when they were trying to make it a game, drop that 4th and 4 slant.
That was a big drop.
That's his second big drop.
I try to defend OBJ because I know he's still very talented. I know he still has a lot left, but that was a big drop.
And that's his second big drop
too. Yeah.
So just to see how they lost.
Yeah, when the Chargers game too, didn't like that.
Yeah, late in the game. Just to see how they keep losing and what happened to that Browns defense. Like, I know they're injured, but golly. Go ahead.
I think think the defense kind of getting a bad rap because they're getting left out there for so long this past week. I know they gave up a lot of points, but in the first half, Baker fumbled right back on the field. They held them to a field goal. There was, I think, an interception or something as well. Might have been somebody else fumbling now. I can't even remember. But like there's 2 turnovers that basically put Arizona right there in the red zone or right around the red zone. And they held them to field goals both times. I think they're asking too much of them whenever your team is not moving the ball down the field. They get spoiled a little bit out there for the Cleveland defense because they usually just running the ball all game. You chilling on the sideline, you come in fresh. But they got to put on them they got to put on them on Sunday. So the Browns only had 79 yards in the entire second half. So they weren't that they weren't given very much time to rest. Like it's just I know it's 37 points, but it's their fault kind of that it was 37 points. It was more lopsided than the 37-14 score, really, if you ask me. But I don't think this is like people are ready to end the season. I don't think it's that. I think with some of the injuries that came out of it, it might be tougher this season than they expected it to be. But
hopefully they come on late.
Yeah, we'll see. Like the schedule wasn't that difficult, but they might not be who we thought they were.
They are who we thought they were. Go ahead, Am.
They are who you thought they were.
Can I say something? I'm just so surprised that first off, the first thing I'm really shocked about is that the Browns are actually favored in this game. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why they were ever favored in this game. I didn't see, leading up to this game, I didn't see anywhere where the Browns would just, especially when you see that Nick Chubb was out, you know what I mean? It just, this is kind of a thing with the Browns after halfway decent seasons. You know what I mean? You come into the season and Browns fans and everybody in the area who support the Browns, you know what I mean? We have these lofty expectations for the Browns, and injuries, you can't control that.
Yeah, a lot of injuries.
You can't control that. You know what I mean? I get that point.
To keep players. The
left
tackle's out, Jarvis Landry out, Nick Chubb out.
This upcoming week, they could have the quarterback could be out. Both of their top 2 running backs could be out. Both of their top 2 receivers could be out. Like they got a lot of people out on offense alone. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But this is as a Browns fan or as a Browns supporter, this is why you gotta humble yourself when it comes to the Browns. Because it's always this lingering shit over the Browns that always kind of just fucks up the season for them. Like,
Browns going brown.
The Browns, they really going brown. That's kind of what
crazy.
they gonna do. Like,
dog, I didn't know this, right? So I'm in LA, right? This is probably 10, 15 years ago. So I'm hanging out with one of my guys. He was like, man, that girl's a Cleveland Brown. I'm like, what? He's like, that's a Cleveland Brown right there. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? He said, man, she got a nice body, but an ugly helmet. I said, that's what people call a Cleveland Brown? Like, I did not even know that was a thing.
Now that's like a kick in the nuts. Like,
I never knew that.
I never heard of that one. I'm down here either.
Bro, I was literally shocked. Like, I can't believe you just said that to me.
I can't go off of what my partner here said, but back to my point is that it's always something with the Browns. It's always something. It never fails.
When people go take a dump, they say they're going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like that's
like, do you even hear the stuff that they're
mind you
the Browns to?
Mind you, the Browns are only they're 3-3 now.
Yeah, and they still have,
they still got a lot of time. It's 11 games left.
A lot of season left.
But they ain't played no divisional games yet. If I'm not mistaken, have they?
No divisional games, but I did I said there was a lot of season left too. I forgot that Baker's going to get a second opinion on his shoulder.
Case Keenum.
It might be a big deal if he's looking for a second opinion. This might not be a 1 week thing.
That's
they might be trying to keep him out, and he might be trying to play.
Yeah, it could be that too.
That's going. So this is, you know what I mean? It's still very early. It's still 11 games left, but this is a concerning time for them. A very concerning time, especially seeing how especially seeing how actually the rest of their division is actually starting to play a lot better. You know what I'm saying? A lot better. And hey, man, Baker is, you know what I mean? He ain't showing that, you know what I'm saying, he big money type. And he injured, man. It might be time to make that call. Like, you know what I mean? It might be time to possibly take some calls on Baker. You know what I mean? I don't want to overreact, but I'm
overreacting.
Man, it might be time.
I'm overreacting. Because I jumped on Twitter and said, should they get Cam Newton or Deshaun Watson? And then somebody hit me back and said, Russell Wilson wants out of Seattle.
You do want out of Seattle.
I saw Browns fans asking for Kirk Cousins and Matt Ryan today. I'm like, y'all can't be here.
Not Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins and Matt Ryan. I'm like,
Ryan he literally is a grandfather.
Yeah,
no. But if
Baker's deal is he still got next year under contract. But they could have given him the extension. But he got one more year.
Get him out of here.
Next year, his cap hit jumps from $5 million to $18 million.
And I'm not about to franchise Baker for 40. You know what I'm saying? No way.
I'm trading Baker to Seattle today.
We're assuming that Seattle would take Baker.
They would, bro, for 3 firsts or 2 firsts or 2 firsts or 2 seconds. He's out of here.
Do the Browns have any firsts available?
They should have picks.
They haven't been traded. They haven't made no trades, except for OBJ. They haven't been making no trades. All their players been
something today where Stephen A. Smith was talking about trading OBJ to your boys.
Man, God, I seen what you did, bro. Can you do the same for me?
What is OBJ's even? What is his value even? Like, do you get to buy low because of what Baker did to him, or do everybody like, nah, I know who he is?
You know what I'm saying? No, they might.
If they call and say give us a 4th, you gotta bite.
If they ask for a 3rd, what you doing?
Me
why not you doing?
I'm not a GM for these reasons.
If you're the Green Bay front office and
they're not going to do
it. Stephon Gilmore went for what, a 6th last week?
A 6th. He went for a washing machine.
What did the Panthers give New England for Stephon Gilmore?
6th
round
pick.
Oh, OBJ might be available. He might be available.
You're not unlimited car wash pass.
Hey, for real. They might be able to get him out of there for a 6 or a 7, for real.
I don't know if Cleveland will do it though, because
they got to do a 6-pack of Bud. That's what they give up.
But you know what? They do it if Landry was healthy.
And it depends on how serious Baker's injury is, because it's a lot easier for them to sell. Unfortunately, it's a lot easier for them to sell like giving up on this season and preparing for next year if you think that he's out, even though I don't know how much better than his backup he really is.
Man, if Baker is out for a little while, man, you might as well chalk the season.
Man, honestly, with that running game, when both running backs healthy, Jedrick Wills healthy, their secondary healthy, Case Keenum can do what Baker does.
I mean, Case Keenum did have a very productive year for the Vikings. What was that? What year was that? Like, that was
the same offense.
That was a couple seasons ago. It was the same offensive coordinator.
That's why he brought him there.
Yeah.
So like, Baker can do this.
You never know.
The same thing.
You never know.
All right, man.
He can get the ball down for better than Baker too, for sure.
Baker got the little bitty arms, man. He like 5'2".
T-Rex.
He fall down, he got to roll over and sit up to get up.
This is the wrong show for me to talk about somebody's height. Like,
we ain't judging you, Z.
I'm 6 feet, but that don't mean nothing to you. So.
We not judging no height. We just say he's little. We ain't say nothing about you.
Yeah.
Ravens beat the brakes off of the Chargers.
Man, put some more respect on that boy, Lamar Jackson.
He out there doing what he wants.
And you know what? I'm actually really surprised, and because the Ravens defense actually, with all the key guys that they had, especially in their secondary, with them guys that they had out earlier in the season, and the running backs that they had out.
They lost
like
runners.
they had to bring in like 3 running backs off the street.
But they
If
didn't
you have
bring
Bell
no
scored a touchdown in 2021.
They didn't bring no regular dudes off this. They might have got some guys who were past their prime, but they ain't just go get like no sign-on. Like, let's not overreact.
Okay.
They got touchdowns from Devontae Freeman, Le'Veon Bell, and Latavius Murray in the same game.
And those all are guys that were written off. You know what I mean?
They got some improved.
And they're still good. They're good NFL players, like, so don't just, it's not like they just went and got Joe
but that
Small
division that I thought was just I felt like the Browns had a stranglehold over, you know what I'm saying, before the season started, it's looking more less and less like.
Oh, because the Bengals. Oh my.
Because the Bengals, boy.
The
Bengals tough.
They're looking serious.
What are they, 4-2?
4-2, second in the division, 1 game behind the Ravens.
Yeah.
Favorable schedule.
And they got a healthy Joe Burrow out there.
And they got a favorable schedule, man. Like
look at their schedule.
These teams who aren't top tier teams, they don't get a lot out of other top tier teams out of their division.
Yeah, because the way they set it up, like if you're third in your division, then you play who was third in the other division and who was third. So that's part of the reason how they can. Oh no, we have a new great team every year. It's like, yeah, we're playing a bunch of 4th place teams from last year. It's cool, but
that's what.
But still, they in a tough division, so they still got to play them division games too.
Yeah,
and I think them division games are going to be a lot tougher for, the other teams playing the Bengals. It's not just going to be you walk into Cincinnati or they come into your arena and it's just or your stadium and it's just an easy dub, especially if Joe Burrow.
They ain't the Bungles.
Yeah, they ain't the Bungles. Them is the Bengals.
They had these little spurts, like they used to have that rivalry with the Bengals, with the Steelers, where they just try to knock each other out.
Yeah, they had those. They had them glory years kind of with Carson Palmer and Ocho, TJ Houshmandzadeh and all them guys.
Yeah, they always made it to the first round and lost. That's why they fired Marvin Lewis.
Yeah,
because he couldn't get past the first round.
Got to the playoffs, couldn't get past first round.
Man, couldn't get past. Now, the surprisingly good, best game, I almost said goodest, the best game that I've seen was the Cowboys-Pats. Did you watch it?
I actually didn't see much of it. I seen spurts of it, but
that was a good game.
Looked like it was a great game.
It was a really good game.
Browns game was on at the same time.
I was flipping back and forth, and then once it got out of hand, I was like, I'm watching this game from here on out. When Diggs, Trayvon Diggs?
He a bad boy.
Wow.
Again.
He a bad boy.
Pick six to put him ahead in the 4th quarter. But then he turns around.
Yes, 6 right back.
I heard it for 75.
Bro, he undercut it trying to make a play on the ball and went over his head.
The safety should have had his back, but he did the same thing.
The safety undercut the ball too, so it ended up being a 75-yard bomb the next play after that. And then it was a really good game, though. I was surprised at how the Pats compete. They're always in every game, man. Like, they don't win a lot, but they're always in every game.
I think they need to let the shackles off of Mac Jones a little bit more. I don't think they let him take a lot of risks, but I think that's by design that they don't let him take a lot of risks. I don't think they want him, turning, just taking risky shots down the field.
It's a lot earlier in his career, so they don't want to. They want to Bill Belichick want to minimize mistakes, and they're willing to make him regular until he does that.
And they don't really have the personnel for him to you're gonna throw it downfield to Nelson Aguilar or Kendrick Bourne.
It's not like he ain't throwing to the guys he was throwing to in college. That's for sure.
Yeah,
they're on the other teams. They're on the other team. But so let's move on to Week 7 preview. It is a lot of terrible games. That's what I was going to talk about. That's why I wanted to wait a little bit. But Zig already touched on it, how the NFL scheduling is, and you play basically your level from last season. And there's a lot of bad games this week. But there's a couple good ones. the Thursday night game is going to be interesting to see the Broncos play the Browns. And Cleveland's actually still favored to win this game for some reason.
It's cause, man, I know what it is with us, man. It's happened like the last 5 years.
Your boy Teddy Turnover, he had 3 of them.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, and like I said, man, we just needed Teddy to not lose the game, and he kind of started to lose some games for us. The last couple of years for the Broncos, man, we start off decent, 3-1. You know what I mean? Maybe 4-2. You know what I mean? 3-0 this year, and then it just all goes to shambles, man. For some reason, man. After about week 4, week 5, we start getting our ass kicked by everybody. You know what I mean? So it's tough, man. It's tough. But, you know, if we can get a win against these Brownies, you know what I mean? We still got a lot to fight for.
I know you're going to be barking all week if y'all get a win.
Oh, I'm going to be talking all kinds of shit. Because I know we're not that great. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have the lofty expectations that the Browns had this year. So if we get a dub in Cleveland.
Nick Chubb has already been ruled out for this game.
So is Kareem Hunt.
So I might just put some couple dollars on the Broncos. I don't see the Browns.
And what's it, a 5-point spread here for it?
It's a 3.5.
It opened at 5. You should have jumped on that early. I read that the Browns have 37% of their roster on the injured list right now.
Damn, that's a lot.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I might want to hop on that game tonight.
Yeah, I might have to call my bookie. No, I'm just call my brother. But there's only 2 other, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not judging. There's only 2 other really good games. And the first one is a 1:00 game. It's Kansas City, Tennessee. I'm interested to see how Kansas City stops the run and if they can stop the run. And I'm interested to see if Tennessee can, you know, kind of hold down Pat Mahomes and if he can keep the turnovers down. What do you think?
Me personally, I don't know, because I feel like it kind of all weighs on how Tennessee plays tonight. Obviously today they're playing the Bills tonight for the Monday night game. So next Sunday they would have the Chiefs. If Tennessee, you know what I mean, just so happens to win tonight, I think they would have, you know what I mean, maybe possibly a chance next week. Because, you know what I mean, kind of carry momentum when you win big games. But, you know what I mean, if we just go on the overall picture of it, this shouldn't be a very difficult game for Kansas City to win. Ryan Tannehill hasn't done much of anything this year, and I mean I'm not sure what Kansas City's run defense is ranked. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's not great because the defense is trash regardless. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I just don't think Derrick Henry can outscore the Chiefs
By himself.
Yeah, I just don't think he can do that by himself.
Yeah, that's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. And it's in Kansas City, so it's gonna be interesting.
And it's in Kansas City, so it's like,
I want to give Tennessee a chance because of how bad that run defense is for the Chiefs. But yeah, it really depends to me on the health of AJ Brown, Julio. Like, they haven't had their full team together.
Yeah, I think Julio's playing tonight. I think he's playing tonight.
Yeah, but they said AJ Brown's going to have his snaps limited through week 10. So
that's crazy.
That's a long ramp up, but I don't think they'll be able to keep up with Kansas City. I think that I already said it last week, but I think Buffalo gonna blow them out, and I think you might see the same thing next week, and it's gonna start being rumbles out of Tennessee. But luckily, they're in that AFC South, and
I mean, they're gonna make the playoffs, and then, like, you know, in the playoffs, the way they play, they always have a chance to win the game because they run the ball so well.
They're shortening the game on them and everything.
The Colts are playing better as of lately, so I mean, I don't know if I could just give them that they'll be in the playoffs. I don't know, but
Yeah, they're really going to be like that's going to be a battle, and I think only one of them is going to get in unless teams continue to just get banged up. T.Y. Hilton came back; he looked sharp. His first game back.
Oh man, shout out to Paris Campbell, man.
Touchdown P.
Touchdown from Carson Wentz, man.
Wound up getting injured in the game though, and so
Yeah.
he wound up leaving the game. So hopefully it ain't too serious. He can turn around and be right back. But yeah, with if having both of them as downfield threats, yeah, that should open up a lot for Jonathan Taylor. I'm starting to convince myself that the Colts are going to win this division and Tennessee going to be a very expensive team outside of the playoffs. And you got to start talking about the coach at that point.
Muscle head.
You got issues with Vrabel?
No, I just don't think he's that good of a coach. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, it's kind of
like he kind of gets that. Like, I feel like he kind of gets that praise from coming from that New England tree and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy into it.
Yeah, they ain't really. He always let him down. Like, I don't know if it's him, but they always in the big games, in the moments where you want them to, when you think they're going to turn the corner.
They had the Chiefs beat the last time they played them in the AFC Championship in 2019, and then they didn't have them beat. But yeah, I don't know. The lead was only 17-7, but yeah, it turned around on them pretty quick. They was up 17-7, and then it was down 35-17. So
that's just like when the Texans had the Chiefs beat too, and it was worse than that.
Yeah,
the turnaround was worse than that too. So,
but this is the first time they played them since then. I think we might see the same thing happen to them again, where it's just it's floodgates open on them.
Yeah. So then there's the last game is that the big game that I think is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens, and it's a big AFC North game.
Yeah, I think that game will potentially, have some legs to it. No pun intended, with Lamar Jackson being able to, kind of obviously being the run threat that he is. But like I said, Cincinnati's a lot better than I think anybody thought they'd be. I'm not sure how strong their defense is because the Baltimore Ravens are kind of rolling right now. So I don't know how they'll be able to kind of match up on that front of it, because Baltimore's defense is also rolling. So I don't know. It'll be a real big test, I think, for the Bengals to kind of see where they kind of match up, because we said the same thing about the Packers when they played the Packers, and they played the Packers down to the wire, and it kind of came down to field goals, obviously. But in this game, I think if you're the Bengals, you could learn a lot from this game if you compete in this game, and it's actually a bit of a close game, whether they win or lose. But I definitely feel like this game will have some legs to
it. They're at Baltimore, and like after last week, the way that the Ravens defense showed up against the Chargers, I'm a little bit more on them than I was before. They seem to be rounding into form. Ravens got a bye after this game, so
it might be a long night for the Bengals.
Yeah, so I'm leaning Baltimore on this. Lamar wasn't really that otherworldly last game, but he didn't have to be.
That's on. And to your point, like you were saying, like they're kind of rounded in the form, and they got a bye, so that's not really a good thing for Cincinnati.
Yeah, so but I want to see this. I want to see this be a good game. It should honestly, in my opinion, probably be the game of the week. That should be the one that everybody should be trying to get on TV. But it's too early in the season for them to start changing the schedules around for those games. But every time I watch the Bengals, the offense, they're doing things. I like what they got going over there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Joe Burrow's play in conference. They beat the Steelers on the road, and that was a big game. And I like to see how Joe Burrow plays. Every game this season that I've watched them play, they've been in the game. So they've been in every game. even the games they lost, by 3 points. So they've been in every game. And they lost to the Bears, which I think if they play the Bears now, they beat them. And then they lost to us the Packers on a very strange end of the game overtime situation. So the two losses are very winnable games. And I might go with the Bengals on this one. I don't know, man.
What's the spread?
The spread is 6.5 Baltimore. Oh my God, I gotta take that.
Because they got a bye after that. So they expecting Baltimore probably try to wrap it up on Cincinnati.
And Joe will turn the ball over a little bit too. He get a little loose with it sometimes, but he's a home run hitter like that.
Yeah, sure. For sure. Let's change gears a little bit. And let's talk about the NBA. First game tomorrow. First game tomorrow.
I wish they still had the NBA on NBC, man. That was the
money talks. You know the rest.
Days, man.
Money talks. Everything else run a marathon. So you know what I mean. So when the money start talking, everything start changing.
Hey man, but this is the reason, man, why we start doing all this, man. The NBA, we back, baby.
Yeah,
he is back.
I can't wait to see it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see really to see how the Lakers. Well, let's get into it. Who are your contenders and pretenders in the East? Let me get a couple teams, and who are a team who, when I say contender, a team who you think can compete for a championship, and a pretender is a team who people think will compete for a championship who won't. Let me hear some.
So for I said, for the West, I don't know if this is like really a shot, but I'll probably go to I would go to Warriors. I think the Warriors are a serious contender to win the West. Seeing how, obviously this is, and I almost don't want to say that because this is pending how Clay comes back, but from everything that I see with the Warriors, if they have their full strength of players back and everybody's healthy, they're very viable to win the West, I think personally. That's one. You want to name more than one?
No, that one's fine. Who's a pretender? Who's a
pretender?
Yeah.
The Suns, I think. I think the Suns. I don't think the Suns will be what they were last year. I think a lot of what helped the Suns last year is a lot of guys got hurt. It was a lot of injuries. And they stayed relatively, to my surprise, seeing how, CP3 has been known to be kind of injury prone, especially when it gets later in the season. He stayed relatively healthy most of the year. And, obviously he was a little banged up in the finals, but still he was there. But I don't think that's going to I don't think they're going to have that luxury this year to where, kind of guys are kind of just going down left or right. So I don't think the Suns, and then on top of this, what the Suns didn't do today, I think is going to end up kind of, I don't know how big of a thing it'll be in that Suns locker room, but I feel like not signing DeAndre Ayton to an extension today is kind of going to linger over them like the whole year. And it might affect his play. He's a young player. That kind of stuff.
It does bother
you. That kind of stuff bothers you, especially when two guys on your team just got the extension as well that you didn't get. So
it's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough watching other guys get paid and you're not getting paid. So I can totally understand why he would feel that way, but he also turned down a deal. So I know they offered him something. You know what I'm saying? It's not like.
Oh, no, they offered him, I think they offered him a 3-year, and they offered him like a 4-year option or something like that. I believe so. Quote me. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, Zay, let me know. But I think they did offer him something like that.
They're still sorting through the rumors because with these, you got what's coming out of the agents camp and what's coming out of the team. So I can't even really say what the offer really was. I've seen, sometimes the agents can get real technical on things. like what happened with Marcus Cousins a couple of years ago, which was one of the worst breaks that he could have gotten, unfortunately. But I don't know. I don't know that it hits this year because it's future money.
Yeah.
As of this year, he's still the third highest paid player on the team. The rest of the people are locked in.
So
Aiton's mentality.
Get his money.
Yeah, they can still give him everything that they could have gave him today. It's kind of a prove it deal. And, I don't think that he's liable to sulk because that might mess with his market if it doesn't. See how fast it turned on Andre Drummond that he playing for the minimum this year. And so I think you're going to get him. You might get him mad. You might get the best season out of him, and you're going to have to give him max at that point. But seen this happen with a young big man before. This is what happened to Jared Allen. They wound up moving him during that season. So I don't think that that's going to be what happens here, but I'm not ruling it out either. You get damn good return for him if it really got that ugly, but I don't think
if they start to slip to like that, maybe fourth, fifth spot in the West. I don't know. It might be some rumblings.
Yeah, Sarver don't like to pay people, which was I was surprised how Chris got paid. I'm glad Chris got paid, but
it's just real funny because CP3 said you're gonna get him that bag this summer, and it seems like everybody else got the bag, but the guy that he's
Even Landry Shamet got the bag.
And that's unbelievable. So who is your contender and who's your pretender, Zed?
My contender is the Utah Jazz. I'm doing it again. I don't care how you feel about Gobert. I like some of the offseason acquisitions they made. I like they bought in Rudy Gay.
Oh, yeah. That was a big pick. I like that.
I think that allowed them to finally go a little bit small without going all the way small. So I like that. You get rebounds out of Whiteside, solid backup. I think it's an upgrade over Favors. And I'm just Donovan made me a believer, really. It's mainly on him more so than Rudy. It's like playoff Donovan seems to be a thing. I'm buying.
You get busy in the playoffs.
I think they're contenders. Now, I won't say they're the favorites, but I think that they're going to be somebody, if healthy, that's going to make you work.
It's going to be a big if, because I feel like if Mike Conley isn't healthy for them, they're going to kind of run into the same problems they ran into last season.
They never solve their issues. And their backup center is worse at what their starting center does. And he don't do that well either. And that's guard on the perimeter. And Rudy Gobert obviously is a great defensive player. He's one of the best defensive big men we've seen in this game in a long, long time. But the way the Clippers exposed him in the playoffs by going small, and they couldn't throw him the ball and give him his payoff wasn't worth his risk on defense. If he was punishing guys in the post and making them okay, we got to get out of this, but he didn't do that. And then they go get Whiteside, who is a worse defender. I was going to pick them to be my pretender. I'm not even going to lie. And so it kind of worked.
I was on the fence.
Yeah, it kind of worked in my favor, so I didn't have to do that. But they didn't do anything to solve their issues. And that's why when a team don't change, they not fundamentally change. I don't want them to change everything. Then obviously they won't be the team that they were. But they didn't solve their issues. They don't have good backup wings. They don't have a backup 5-man who can, when they go small. I guess maybe if Rudy Gay plays the 5, but I just don't see them being able to if the Lakers go small, Bron at the 4, AD at the 5, what are they gonna do?
They in trouble.
And so I'm thinking that I think they just took an opposite approach of what everybody expected them to do. And they just went and got more offense. Are they going to try to outscore people? We see how it works. It's not usually the way that you would go, but
yeah.
I think they reached the Western Conference Finals this year. That doesn't mean that they win it. I think that they get there though.
Very interesting. Who's your pretender?
my pretender. Well, I was also going to roll with Phoenix. I wasn't buying into that, but and nobody's.
I'm going to see. I see you picked up on it though. You picked up on it though, Zig.
Yeah, it's so it's really. I don't know. I don't like most teams in the West right now. So
I'm trying to scroll through a team to see the team that I do like. And I kind of keep circling around Denver, like, but just Jamal Murray's health.
He's out for a while.
Yeah, and they would have been a contender for me, but without him, they're not.
And he don't like Porter.
Michael Porter Jr., Kyle Kuzma
2.0. They're the same person. So no. But then I look at Dallas.
I feel like I want to believe in Luka the Don being able to just kind of get it done, but
they didn't give him anything,
bro.
They did nothing. They didn't do anything.
They sent that man to war with a super soaker. Like, bro, that is not enough, bro. Give that man something.
I mean, shout out to Frank.
That's my guy. Frank's my guy.
Shout out to him. And like his defense at the point of attack is going to be important for them, but they needed, like, Jason Kidd is going to have to turn Porzingis into somebody who nobody thinks he is anymore. And
I don't think he thinks he's that anymore either at this point.
You know the saying. He is who we think he is. I don't care, bro. He's 7'3" shooting mid-range pull-ups.
They said that he's been leaning on him as like the most important player on the team. I mean, because he was trying to get out of Luka. Yeah. So Kidd is on him. And, Kidd was the one who started the Giannis at point guard experiment that got him the ball handling to get where he's at.
I forgot about that. That was
he might do something that you ain't think of.
But wait, that failed miserably. Like when he tried that, like, you know what I'm saying?
It did, but I don't
in the
think
long
that you
run,
get this Giannis.
It helped the Giannis in the long run, but for Kidd, that didn't work. But it helped Giannis as a player.
Yeah, so I mean, he don't have long run if we talking this season. Porzingis is not, he's not like old by any means, but he's 26. Health is an issue. They need him to be somebody. I don't know if Kidd can bring that out of him. So, and then that's pretty much what they got rid of Josh Richardson, didn't they? Like, I don't.
I mean, since nobody said the obvious, I'm going to go with the Lakers with the revamped roster, the LAARP Lakers. The grandfather Lakers, but I think that a lot of their issues.
Close friends in the Lakers, man. Be careful with some of that.
Man, they old. They old. I mean, we all.
He can say it. I mean, we the same age.
Yeah, we the same age, bro. I'm 20 days older than him. We all. I hurt my hamstring today just working out. So I know we old. You know what I'm saying? But they're very old. But they also have guys who know how to play, and they don't have anything to prove. Besides Westbrook, which is also. Is the guy you want to play like the least, like you need something to prove. Hopefully he comes in and respects Bron. It seems like they have a good rapport. I don't know that man, but it seems like they have a good rapport and the mutual respect. So I hope that the Lakers can build some chemistry and kind of get into a flow throughout the year and make a real run. I think they have a real chance to win the title with that roster.
And they picked
Is this the most?
I think that was a sneaky good pick.
That was a really good
especially
pick.
Him already being there. And
It's the most ornery like backcourt in NBA history of people like.
Oh, they're going to irritate.
You got Russ, you got Rondo, you got Brad. Like
they're going to irritate so many people.
No, honestly, Avery Bradley before they went to the bubble was probably playing some of his best basketball for the Lakers, and what he brings. From what his skill set is, being a pesky defender and being able to make shots from the outside, I actually think that was a sneaky good pickup for them. I mean, it's funny because, nobody thought he would actually end up back on the Lakers, but here we are. You know what I mean?
It was a great pickup. It was a great
I'm
pickup.
not dealing with Russ, Rondo, Bradley, and Nunn all game. Like I'm
Oh, it's gonna
irritated thinking about
It's gonna be
it.
so annoying. It's gonna be annoying to watch at times, especially if you're a true basketball fan, just watching them do like irritating stuff. Like
I honestly think, kind of contrary to what you said, I think Russ not playing like Russ may actually hurt the Lakers more.
no, see, when I've said I don't want him to play like he has something to prove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I don't.
Because watching them play in preseason and watching him play, I think he's being. I think he's trying to fit in a little too much because he's being super extra passive, and he's being passive to the point where it's like he's making passes that don't even make sense. Like, you know, which is why he's turning the ball over so much.
I think you got to let him scorch the second units.
Yeah.
Sit when Brian is out and just tell him to go crazy.
Yeah. So I think, you know what I mean, for him, once he and you know, they say Russ kind of does this when he gets to new teams. Obviously, over the last couple of years, he's been with Washington and Houston. He starts off kind of really bad, like, you know what I mean.
He's trying to figure it
out. So it takes him a while to figure it out. But once he figures it out, you know what I mean, he gets it going. Obviously, that hasn't led to winning for those teams. So hopefully that's a different case here. You know what I mean?
None of those teams had rosters that this team has.
For sure.
This team is loaded top to bottom. If this was maybe 5 years ago, this would be the runaway champs, but obviously it's not. Yeah. And we are where we are. I also am curious to see Melo play in the team like this, where even in Portland, he was the veteran big dog. Like, you know, like he had Dame, who's the obviously best player, and then CJ, who's the obvious, but those guys are younger than him. With Dame has probably more clout than him, but you know, when you're on a team like this where you don't have the juice, like when you ain't that guy, like, you know what I'm saying, like mentality wise, I'm not talking about basketball wise. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays. I'm interested to see.
One thing I want to say about Melo Zig, and then I'll let you go, is that I think the Lakers would be best by bringing him off the bench.
Oh, he's going to go off the bench.
I'm pretty sure. I kind of thought he was, but you know, what I mean, I know they kind of messed around in the preseason with different lineups and stuff like that. That ain't gonna work. No, he's bad on defense.
You got to come. No,
he is. He trash on defense.
No, you got to start with some defensive guys.
Yeah, they gotta let Melo be that, you know what I mean, that energy on offense off the bench, like, because man, I'm talking about you know what I mean, people are gonna like kind of search him out on defense, and that's not good if he's starting the game.
I think people forget this is Melo's second run with Russ. They were on Oklahoma City together, and that was when people thought that he didn't deserve to be in the league anymore. So, like, they got to figure out a way to manage this so you don't have. They have the personnel where they don't have to put multiple weak defenders on the floor at the same time, but it's going to be up to Vogel to unlock that and make sure that he's keeping Melo protected in these units so that he can just do what he does. Right now, the interesting thing that we've been seeing already is Melo doing his rebound thing and telling Russ to get the fuck out of here, like he tell everybody else to do.
It's actually really funny.
That's just a thing.
I wonder what's behind. Like, why did he start doing that?
He probably been doing this.
It's probably playground stuff, but
he was a kid.
Knowing the way that Russ likes to hunt rebounds, I don't know if all season it's gonna work for him.
But you know, Russ's numbers are gonna be down all across the board, obviously, because he's not gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Russ's lowest rebounded season of his career. Just simply the fact on the guys that he's playing with. You know,
they're all good rebounders.
Yeah, you mentioned Melo, but Bron's a good rebounder. AD's a great rebounder.
No,
I mean, when he gets
he can be at times. I wouldn't call him great though.
Yeah, I mean that's
he can rebound. He should get 8 rebounds.
Yeah, so
but you got Dwight.
You can write him in for like 7 rebounds.
Yeah, he should get 8.
But you got Dwight. You got, you know what I mean, DeAndre Jordan when he's in the game. So, you know, like Russ isn't going to be getting a lot of rebounds, period. Like,
yes, he is. He's still going
to force his way in there to get the rebound. I mean, but you might be better off with him getting an outlet pass on the go.
I think it would work better for him if he's not like, you know what I mean, bringing the ball up and then letting him just like starting the fast break early in the possession by him leaking out.
I just don't see it in him.
You think I disagree with you. I'm not disagreeing. I agree with you. I think,
but I'm just saying.
I think the way you think, but I don't think he thinks the way that we're thinking. And
There's gonna be a couple of those. Same.
Yeah, because he's gonna run in there and try to out rebound guys. The problem, the problem with guards who rebound is you don't get paid to do that. That's a plus, right? So guards who rebound well, that's a plus. So they're gonna be like, oh, he rebounds well. That's cool. But a big who don't rebound well, that's a minus. Like that's like you don't get paid because you don't rebound. And so that's what guards don't understand. So you coming in there trying to rebound, that's like taking away his money. That's just adding a bonus to you. It's not taking away your money because that nobody expects you to do that. So like that's just like a big who passes up layups trying to get an assist. I want to average 8 assists. Bro, that's not, we don't pay you to do that. That's a bonus that you can pass, but that's not what we pay you to do. And so when guards take that mentality to start trying to take rebounds from bigs, I'm a big, well, I used to play 4. So that I would take offense to that. Like, bro, if they tell me I only got 5 rebounds and I can't rebound. But if I got 7, the 2 that you stole from me, I'm a good rebounder. And that's a difference. So like Russ gonna have to get it in his head. Like AD needs, like he needs that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He needs that because there's been times where he had 0 to 2 rebounds in a half. So he needs to
well, maybe it might click in Russ's head, like, if I can get out on this break earlier while just getting a rebound and letting them outlet to me, maybe this might work better for me. I can kind of get my thing going and not be stuck in the half court as much.
And you know that Brian can throw that outlet. Prowl can throw it. He doesn't do it often, but they're getting the ball to him if he's getting down court. You want to see him. You don't want Russ bringing it up and playing against a set defense. So
that's my point.
Russ,
I hope they kind of
Russ needs to understand this and this only. You don't have to do everything. You do not have to do everything every single possession.
I want to point out this though. What I did notice in the preseason, mind you, I didn't take away much from them not winning a lot of games. Or winning no games actually at all.
You talked about it a lot.
I did talk about because it was irritating, but then I had to step back a little bit. Rondo is gonna have to play. He's gonna have to play, and it's gonna be big for him to play with AD because
they play well together.
AD plays his best basketball. When he's healthy, obviously, but also when Rondo's on the floor with it. So that I know we kind of all thought that bringing him back would be a good thing until they started filling the roster out, and then it kind of make it seem like, okay, he might not play that much, but he has to play.
He ain't gonna play that much, bro.
He gonna have to play.
He's 3rd on the depth chart.
I don't care about all that. You're not hearing me though. I'm saying he gonna have to play. His plus minus with him and AD on the floor is too high for him not to play.
I mean, I'm sure they're gonna fix, but because right now, even in the preseason, there's a ton of injuries. So they're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah, they got all year to work it out. It's that playoff lineup. Like, I don't know how much they're going to care about the regular season.
No, I don't think
we're spending too much time on the Lakers, man. Let's move on to the East, man. So who are your contenders and pretenders in the East? Go first, Zeke, since Ant went first last time.
All right, so the contenders, I think, they're obvious. I don't got a surprise for you on this one. I'm still rolling with the Nets. Kai or not, I think they come out, honestly. But
I agree.
I like Miami. I'm not gonna lie. I like Miami. I like what they do defensively. And I like the pickup of Kyle Lowry, who adds some toughness at the point and some shooting. I like Miami. I just like Miami. They didn't lose anybody. And they picked up PJ Tucker, who's another defender who can agitate, who can get under KD's skin. Obviously, he can't stop him. Nobody can. But
on top of that, what you said, and they also are Oladipo getting back to health. So if he gets back to, if he gets, healthy enough to where he can actually just give them something, anything, that's a plus for them as well. So I actually like that pick.
And you
I'ma
got
go-
Tyler Hero. That's like having Luca or Ja or
Or Jason Tatum. He's better than Jason Tatum. He's on that same level.
he's on that Luca level. You got him coming off the bench, man.
And he's smoking that good bluegrass. Ain't he from Kentucky?
Such an idiot.
My bad.
He went to Kentucky. He's smoking that bluegrass.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to step on you, Amp. That got you going last time.
No,
I had to bring it back.
God, man, that's so stupid. But I actually like the Bulls, man. Not as contenders, but I think they'll be a hard out in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I don't know how high I'd put them because I don't think I personally, and you know what I mean, I like the Bulls, and I was actually gonna say I don't like Philly that much this year. I think they're a pretender this year. Personally.
They got too much. Philly got
You know
too
what I mean?
much going on, man.
So I kind of feel like Chicago could kind of be what
Atlanta was?
no, because Atlanta went to the conference finals. I was gonna say the Knicks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think they could be what the Knicks were last year. You know what I mean? Possibly a 4 or 5 seed in the East, and you know what I mean? Maybe give somebody a tough run in the first round or so, and you know. But I like what Chicago did. You know what I mean? If they can all stay healthy, obviously Lonzo has I think a lot of people are expecting Lonzo to have a really big year in Chicago because you know what I mean. I think he'll have that freedom with ain't Billy Donovan the coach in Chicago now?
Yeah.
With you know what I mean. I think he'll let him open up the offense, and I think a lot of people are also expecting Zach LaVine to kind of take that next step into you know what I mean, fringe superstar.
Zach LaVine he's not gonna score any more points.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like all he need to do is win.
Yeah.
If they win, and he will be considered you know, like because he averaged 27, 20, like he averaged a ridiculous amount of points.
And also, you know what I mean, they brought in DeMar DeRozan and also my man Alex Caruso. I think that was a sneaky little nice pickup for them because he plays hard. You know what I mean? He does all the dirty stuff that that guys don't like to do. So
they got a log jam though at the 2-1-2. I mean, is DeMar DeRozan gonna play the 3 or?
Yeah, he's gonna play the 3 this year. He played some 4 in San Antonio at times, but
DeMar DeRozan he's like a fringe 3 anyway.
I'm just trying to think of how they it's a lot of guys.
Really,
name 4 guys, and those are but they got Vujacic, who's a great post player and who's been stretching it out to 3 lately.
Patrick Williams, the second-year guy, who's coming back.
And Kobe White?
White. He's a point.
Yeah, they're down on him now though, so he might be out of the rotation by
which is you know, Zig, I'm really confused by that because I thought he played really well for them, but I don't know. I don't really understand why they would be down on him, but I'm kind of getting that feeling as well.
It's just a little inconsistent, and so right now, he's out with shoulder surgery, so he's not even going to play until sometime in November. You know, which is within the season starts in October.
And then about a month past. Back in the game. Shit.
Yeah, I could see them putting him in a package deal if they move somebody. I could see. They just don't seem to be big on Kobe.
Yeah. So unfortunate for him, I actually like Kobe.
So who was your pretender?
Yeah.
I thought you were asking me. I'm sorry.
No, you already said it anyway. So I was going with Philly too.
I literally thought you were asking.
You said it so fast.
Ain't no question at all. But I think that Philly's probably the easy pick though too.
That is the easy pick.
I don't know. They haven't really had the hype behind them, but I feel like Boston's gonna get high.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that. I was gonna say that too though. I was thinking of Philly, and it was gonna be like obviously people would say Philly, but I was gonna kind of sneak Boston in there. But
I think Milwaukee.
Pretender?
I think
Pretender.
Pretender.
Interesting.
I think Milwaukee is going to lose in the second round.
To who?
To Miami.
I could see it happening.
Okay.
Bam let me down last year in the playoffs. He got scared to shoot for whatever reason. He was shooting all season.
He missed 2, then he just stopped shooting. Well, you gotta shoot through that.
He put in too much work to give up on that easy.
Right.
I think having Lowry on the team might coach him through that if it happened again.
Right, he got to shoot through that. Like, we all go through downspouts, like, in shooting. You got to shoot. There's a rule. Shoot when you're hot, shoot to get hot. Like, you got to shoot, man. Like, I'm not telling you to shoot no nonsense or no bad shots, but you got to shoot. If that's your shot, if that's your shot, you got to shoot it. But I do not like Milwaukee. I don't think they did enough to get better in this offseason. And I think that we have some pretenders on our hands, man. We'll see. We'll see.
You're not swayed by Giannis? They say he got a jumper now.
No.
You're not believing the preseason jumper?
No, I don't think that Giannis' jump shot makes him any better. Actually, I actually think him shooting jumpers makes him worse. I think that every time he shoots a jumper, make or miss, he's letting the other team off the hook. I think Giannis shooting jumpers is a disservice to his skill set. Like, obviously you need to shoot some, but shooting pull-up threes in transition is.
The thing is, he already was doing that anyway.
No, my whole thing is so I can drive with my knee, right? I can drive a car with my knee. That don't mean I should drive a car with my knee. Just because you can do it, don't mean you should. I am a big fan of that.
I personally think with Giannis, I actually admire that, he's taking these shots that he's working on, unlike other people who take these shots in these summer recorded open gyms and then don't take the shot in the game.
See, the difference is with these two guys is one is the focal point of the offense, where if a mistake happens or you shoot a shot, 100 times out of 100, you're getting another chance at it. Another guy, and I'm not bailing the other guy out. The other guy got to shoot that too. He needs to shoot that. But you can tell that he's mentally fragile because past work has shown that he is mentally fragile. But I don't want to see either one of them shooting that.
There's a huge difference. Yes, it is. There's a huge difference.
Giannis, there's no world
listen,
that you can explain that Giannis should be shooting pull-up threes in transition.
There's a huge difference between one of these guys and the other one. And it's one of your favorite sayings. One of them trusts the work and the other one don't.
No.
Period. Yes, that is it.
Giannis should never shoot a pull-up three in transition.
So what?
I don't care.
He trusts the work.
No, he don't.
He do.
He don't believe in that.
Then why is he shooting it?
Because he chases it. Because he chases his own rebound. I just see him shoot it and run after it. He don't believe. He's just shooting it because he feel like he gotta shoot it. Ben don't trust the work. I'm not. You thinking I'm not letting Ben off the hook.
I understand.
I'm not letting Giannis off the hook. Neither one of them should be shooting transition 3-pointers.
Obviously, one trusts his work. That's my point. He trusts what he's doing in the offseason.
There's no, he has ultimate green light. That boy is on the Autobahn. He's on the highway.
Okay, who the hell says Ben Simmons can't take these shots? He won't take the shots.
Because he's at least smart enough to know that he shouldn't take a transition.
Hell, man.
There's no way in it. Man, there's no way, there's no world, there's no ultra universe where Giannis is 40% shooting threes, transition
Dog,
threes.
you talking about
you talking about what I'm not talking about.
Man.
Man, let's move on because you about to make me mad. So Adam Silver came out with it today and said that Kyrie Irving has a New York City problem and not an NBA problem.
And I 100% agree. I 100% agree. This is kind of where I was kind of falling on it. It's not the NBA that's saying he can't play. It's New York City that's saying he can't play.
So what? So who should? So
what?
So the people should be mad at the city?
I don't think that. Why would they be mad at the NBA?
The
NBA decided that he can't play. The Nets decided that they're going to move on from Kyrie until he's vaccinated because of a New York City mandate, not an NBA mandate. It's a New York City mandate. He plays in Brooklyn. Where's Brooklyn at? It's in New York. They mandated that, that you have to be vaccinated for, to do what he does as a profession. He chose not to do that, which I'm not mad at. I felt indifferent about it at first, but once I went back and listened to his explanation that he had the other day on IG Live, I can respect his decision a lot more than I once previously did. So I get it from his point. That's, you got the right to want to do what you want to do with your body. On the other hand, your profession your profession in that city requires you to be vaccinated. And you chose not to do that, which again, I'm not mad at that.
So if the mayor lifted this ordinance, he could play right away.
Yeah. Because I don't,
I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. Like, as
city council, the mayor, if they drop the rule, he's back in the lineup and he's good to go.
Yeah, because I don't believe that, I don't believe that there's like, what's the percentage of NBA players that they say are vaccinated?
Like
I
97.
think we're up to like 96 or 97 now. They said there's about 20 guys left now.
That's
Yeah,
not vaccinated.
I mean,
They're probably all in Texas and Florida.
yeah, but still, that's still a high percentage, but it's still guys that aren't vaccinated and they're on their rosters right now. They're active.
But they're not on the Knicks
or they're not on San Francisco. Or Golden State.
Golden State.
Right.
Or LA now. LA has it too. So they also need to worry about who they're picking up and make sure. I don't know if Avery, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. He probably had to be, or they probably wouldn't have signed him.
Well, he was playing and like he was on the bench and he was in the games for San Francisco.
But because of the city, but Golden State.
He was playing in the games for Golden State, so he's vaccinated.
Yeah, so but that's something that all those teams do need to look out for while they're making deals. Real quick,
level.
Just wanted to bring this back up because I didn't get my stat in. Giannis shot 66% from 3 in the preseason, but we're not gonna get going on that. I'm just saying,
Giannis, please shoot more threes.
No, Giannis.
Shoot more threes.
Giannis, continue to trust the work. Continue to trust the work.
We all want to see you shoot
Don't do what Ben Simmons do.
Oh my God, Giannis, you would be the.
I ain't saying he should do it, but you know
what though? But I am with you on that. I don't like how people saying like, "Oh, it's scary hours now that he making jumpers." Like, okay, come on.
No. It's actually, please shoot more jumpers.
That's a little bit over top.
I would love for, if I'm playing Giannis.
But did you see? You know what I'm talking about though? Did you see that when people were saying like?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he was hitting like elbow jumpers.
It's not like talking about like, okay.
I think Giannis
get a jumper.
I think Giannis is muted on my timeline for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if I did it.
It was like a thing like from the preseason games.
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah, as far as the mandated players and all that, like it's definitely a city rules. The thing is, these are always, every city is doing what they feel is right for their city. And so while you are like, you might be unvaccinated and you might be cool right now, that don't mean that it's gonna stay that way throughout the season too. So we're gonna see how this plays out. Nobody is barring role players from these for some reason, which I don't know.
What do you mean?
So, like, if you come to Golden State and you're not vaccinated, you're allowed to play.
You can still play, but not for them. Yeah,
not for the team, but you can come in as a visitor and play.
Because you got to think about it though, like, because how can you, like, they're not mandated to, if they don't want to get the vaccine in a city that doesn't mandate them to do it. How can they mandate somebody else from another state?
Because you're in my arena.
If I was going to a restaurant and they had a policy, I couldn't say I'm from out of town, I don't need my mask.
Yeah, I guess
so. I'm from here. I don't wear a mask.
Yeah, I know, that is interesting. Because then maybe they're thinking about like, okay, they won't be in this arena 41 times.
But regardless,
it don't matter.
Yeah, right, it doesn't make sense because just say 20 guys aren't vaccinated. That's a whole NBA team. That's one full roster.
Yeah.
So that's one team accumulatively is not vaccinated.
Are there
but they can play anywhere.
Are NBA players, Zig, do you know, are they kind of not making them like stay in a bubble. Why are they restricting them from doing certain things during the season? Like
only if you're not vaccinated.
The non-vaccinated guys are subjected to more testing and more strict protocols if you break the protocols.
And also there's other rules like they can't mix in on a team bus with other players. They got to sit in a separate section of the plane. That's what Jonathan Isaac was upset about because he's like he feels like he can't be with his teammates because of his decision, but he can get it in the huddle with them and everything is fine. And he didn't like that kind of thing. And I'm not the biggest.
But there isn't a vaccine mandated for it either.
No, but what
the NBA is not letting them travel together and things like that. And I'm not the biggest Jonathan Isaac supporter in the world, but he does have a point there with the, I can sit next to him on the bench, but I can't. Yeah,
that don't make sense. So I agree.
Makes no sense.
That's a real.
It's all for optics, bro.
Okay, Adam
Silver. It's all for optics.
What are we doing, Adam Silver?
That don't make no sense.
Yeah, we'll see how long this all stays in. Everything's fluid. Some of the rates in some cities are coming down. You'll see restrictions lift, and
they say during the winter months it gets worse. So during the cold weather, so we got to wait and see how this first cold season goes.
See
how it goes, and we'll just keep an eye on it, and maybe by the spring, all the mandates will be lifted and everything will be back to normal and we can just move forward. But I don't think this will, even by January, I don't think this the last we heard of COVID.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
So tomorrow night, the NBA starts with two highly touted games. It's going to be pretty interesting. Even without Kyrie Irving, the Nets will play the Bucks first. Is that at 8:00 tomorrow night?
What is it on? It's on TNT.
TNT, so 8:00 tomorrow night.
10:30 start for the night.
It says 7:30, but it's ring night, so
ring night. Well, they're also doing the 75 greatest players thing too.
They doing that tomorrow?
I think they. Yeah,
they're doing some of them. They're not going to unveil the whole list all at once.
All-Star, right? I thought it was going to be like a big unveil.
Yeah, everybody comes out together in Cleveland at the All-Star game.
They picked Ohio's because we like the Texas of the North, so like ain't no rules.
Silver did say he expects things to be a normal All-Star weekend this year. So
it's in Ohio. It's gonna be normal.
It's gonna be real normal.
It's gonna be cold, but
it's gonna be cold. But you better bring your best fur and a bulletproof vest because it's gonna be cold and it's gonna be robberies.
Hey man, we need to get up in there, man. That media day, man. Mad pop, man.
Let's get some credentials.
I'm gonna be right here in Akron with these Crocs on. I'm not going up there and doing all that now. No, I'm lying.
Oh, this nigga lying.
I'm gonna do that. So the Nets play the Bucks at 7:30. Who do you like tomorrow on the game opener versus the Nets versus the Bucks? It's one game. It's not a series.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about because some teams are really good about ring night and kind of, but that's usually like Bron teams are liable to lose on like
for sure. They're gonna lose.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna take the Bucks. I actually think the Bucks are going kind of start off the ring night kind of well. I think they're gonna be on a nice little high down there in Milwaukee. A lot of energy. I'm going with the Bucks. I don't have no disparity. It's probably be a close game, I would imagine. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
I'm also going to go with the Bucks, just because of the Nets and all this craziness around them right now. I think that it might take them a while to get their bearings, and I don't know if they're going to start Patty Mills or I know they liked Cameron Thomas a lot, but right now they got to fill some things out, and Bud's going to run Bud's system. They know Bud's system, so the Bucks, I think they'll be good to go.
Why don't always got to be the oddball, man? I don't. I think that
I'm not surprised by this.
I think the Nets gonna win.
The fraudulent Milwaukee Bucks are not.
No, it has nothing. Like,
I knew where he was going.
Always got to be the oddball.
The 6 seed Milwaukee Bucks this year.
They shouldn't have won. But I think KD's gonna come out with a vengeance, especially with the way they lost last year and how he just basically kind of just ran out of gas. And if he wore 2 sizes smaller, that they potentially could be NBA champions. So I think
Assuming they would beat Atlanta.
Is James Harden in basketball shape, or is he still in I'm touring with Lil Baby shape right now?
I don't know. I haven't watched.
From what I've seen, I mean, a couple of videos I've seen, he seems like he's kind of ready to go. But
I haven't watched any. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch preseason basketball. My TV time is limited with a house full of kids and a wife, so I got to pick my sports.
Got a good point.
I got to pick my sports wisely. So I play football. I watch football until the NBA season starts. So I haven't seen 1 second of NBA preseason. I just think the Nets are going to come back with a vengeance. They have something to prove, and they feel like that should have been their ring. And I think that I like the Nets. So, and then the next game is going to be Golden State versus the Lakers. Woo, I don't know, man. I really don't know about this game. I'm kind of nervous, man. I want to. Where's this game? It's in Los Angeles. I'm gonna let y'all go first. I already know who I think.
I mean, I know who I think I'm going.
Go. Who you think?
Why do we?
I think
first.
I think Golden State's going to win. Dang, man, all right, I said it, man. Dang. If y'all wanted me to say it, I said it, man. Dang, okay. I think Golden State's going to win the game. I think more so the Lakers have a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces.
11 new players.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts that they have to get together. But I'm going back. The Lakers going to win. They got Bron. Man, I'm going back. Sorry to go against the home team, man. Come on, Bron, don't let me down, baby.
You gonna have the Lakers going 82-0 because that just gonna have to pick against them eventually. It's all
man, I'm gonna pick against them, but not the first game. Come on, man. At least give me a week.
Well, listen, man. I'm gonna just get out my system. I think Golden State gonna fucking win. I was just like, I was curious to see what you was gonna say, but I definitely feel like Golden State is gonna win just because it's the first game, man. Like, Bron's teams pick up steam. Like, I mean, well, recently, they've actually started off relatively quickly the last 2 years with the Lakers. Until like last year, they had a really good record until everybody started getting hurt. And then the year before that, they had the #1 record in the West for the whole season. But I just feel like, so many new players. They're still trying to figure out how they want to play. And I don't know. It's just a lot. It's too much unknown with the Lakers right now. I feel like to just pick them against a team that's kind of already well-rounded and how they want to play. They've been playing together. So yeah,
I think the Lakers just better though.
I mean, I do think the Lakers overall are a better team, but we're talking about one game.
Yeah, that's why I just think they're just better. Like they just go out there and be better.
Yeah, I think Golden State's gonna win. I think it'll be a close one. But I won't be mad if the Lakers win. Come on, Bron. Let's go, baby.
I'm going with the Lakers, and I don't have the back and forth, and I didn't go to Bron's school or nothing like that. I'm the only person you can pick on but I just think that Clay's still not ready. Wiseman's hurt. You'll be seeing what Kuminga does, what Moody does. I do like them, as young players, but it's gonna be the first game, and you're going to play against the King in your first game. We go see what they really made out of. But Iguodala's back. That's a nice story for Golden State, but I don't know what that means as far as actual on court.
The guy that held him to 35-99.
I'm very curious as why Steph Curry didn't get Finals MVP. Like that is really a odd thing.
I feel
you can't have Delly take it to you and get Finals MVP. That's
I've kind of came around to liking stuff a little bit more, especially since last year. You rep the city 3-3, baby. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm from Akron.
You know what I mean? All right. You know what I mean? He's born here. Go ahead.
He was born in Akron.
Let him have it. We like that.
He can have it. He can have it. No, he can have it. But no, that is really weird because Andre Iguodala, kind of made it harder for Bron, but didn't stop him. So it was really weird. So yeah, he kind of got robbed of one, but oh well. Who cares?
I mean, the numbers that I ain't saying that he deserved MVP, but can you imagine the numbers he would have put up? Like I don't know
yeah.
how you get even better than like
Oh yeah, if they didn't make the switch, it might have been like 40, 10, and 12 or something like that.
like it's just been some outrageous stuff.
What
But
Finals MVP?
I need to see that Draymond is back engaged in the game because like, you know, I've heard him talk a lot this summer, but he hasn't been that guy who he
really
was.
Funny. It's really funny that you say you heard him talk a lot. I was telling Roman about Draymond's it's like his YouTube show that he got where he interviews guys, and I was saying, I'm like, man, you know what, man, Draymond is a really good interviewer. He actually does talk a lot.
Might be time to pick up that microphone sooner than expected, but not this year. But I think his time is coming.
Like, how was he on the NBA? How was he on the USA team?
I mean, Kevin Love was almost on the USA team.
No,
so.
How? Like, how was he a three-time All-Star?
Draymond, more than 3-time All-Star, 3-time champ, 6 times All-Defense, 2 times All-NBA.
Offense, like all
NBA.
All NBA.
Like all.
Like
all NBA.
Like not honorable mention.
What team? Second team?
He was second team All NBA once and third team All NBA once. So I'm gonna pull it up because it was the year they won in '73. He made second team All NBA. Y'all ain't trying to hear that at all. But yeah, second team All NBA.
I gotta stop laughing, man.
He got the spot over. You know, the third team was LaMarcus Aldridge, Andre Drummond, Paul George, Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson.
Please, he was. Hold on.
Well,
he was on the second team.
Forward and center. I mean, forwards versus guards, and Klay was a guard that year.
Can you please tell me statistics? Just humor me. Just please tell me.
All right, so it's 2016 statistics. That was the season that he was shooting the 3 well. So he wound up with 14, 9.5, and 7.5. Basically, he shot 38% from 3. It was the best season of his life.
Why are you looking at me like a man who averaged 14 points to be on second team All NBA?
So he made it over Andre Drummond, Paul George, and LaMarcus Aldridge. Like, and I know how you feel about Paul George. So.
I don't care how I feel about Paul George. He should never be on a team where he's better than like he's not a better basketball player than Paul George. He may affect the game differently than Paul George, but he's not a better basketball player than Paul George.
Yeah, so the people he was on second team with. Chris Paul, Dame, DeMarcus Cousins, and Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant was second team.
Bro, I gotta go, man. I'm about to go.
And DeAndre Jordan was first team All NBA that year.
Oh,
so
shit.
It was just a different kind of year.
That's probably when they got rid of position.
Hey, it's getting
he made it because he was a center, and he was first team center. I think DeMarcus was second team center, and Drummond was third team.
This is the upside down world.
Man.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
That's so funny, man. Oh my God.
I won't be able to sleep tonight. I can't believe you.
The front court first team was Kawhi, LeBron, and DeAndre Jordan. And so that's why Kevin Durant was second team.
What was DeAndre Jordan's stats?
Wait, what was Kawhi's stats over KD?
So DeAndre Jordan, that season, he had 12.7 points, about 14 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks.
Was this the year they went 73-9?
No,
it was 73-9 year for the.
No, but still,
no, he was for the Clippers.
But he was, yeah.
I know that. I'm saying I was talking about, was this the year that Golden State went 73-9?
And he wasn't. Strangely enough, DeAndre Jordan didn't make the All-Star team that year, but he was first team All NBA.
Which I'm really perplexed by this first team All NBA.
We can't relitigate 2016. It was a weird year, man.
I'm really confused now. I don't.
No, man. Why ain't nobody talking about how Kawhi made it over KD though? I think that's a really big issue here.
I think what were the records that year? Where was San Antonio?
No, Oklahoma City played Golden State in the conference finals that year.
Yeah, so that year, and because I need to look into this Clippers thing, but the Spurs, they did go 67-15. They were better than Oklahoma City in the regular season.
By how many games?
By 12 games. So
That's a lot of games.
That is a lot of games.
Yeah.
Damn, the Spurs is not good this year.
Wasn't that the season?
That's last year. Tim Duncan.
Oh, they
that was the season that the foot.
Wait, no. Was that the year
when he tripped? When he tripped,
was that the year that the Clippers?
Zaza Pachulia tripped Kawhi.
And he got hurt. But that was
no, he got hurt. That was the next year.
No, that was the next year. So who did the Spurs lose to in the playoffs that year? They lost to the Clippers, I think.
Yeah, that year the Spurs, we got way off track. The Spurs, they lost to Oklahoma City. KD got his back.
But that's a perplexing list, bro.
But yeah, that
was kind of wild.
DeAndre Jordan being first team, they only won 53 games, which is nice. But
was DeMarcus Cousins on the Pelicans that year?
DeMarcus Cousins, I believe he was in Sacramento. Because let me see, that was all right. So for DeAndre Jordan, I think that was the last year that and I want to check that Clippers team was in. Chris Paul was still there the next year. So yeah, that was the Lob City. He was first team.
14 points, 12 points.
Yeah, the DeMarcus Cousins, he was that season he was still in Sacramento.
Oh, he had monster numbers. They was just trash.
Yeah, you know how that go.
This is
I got us all thrown off about 2016.
Man, this is very perplexing.
Did Kyrie make first team? I mean, did he make All NBA that year?
I don't think he made All NBA at all that year. It might have precipitated him trying to get the hell away from LeBron. It's like, I ain't on no teams and DeAndre Jordan's first team. But I believe he started that season. He was coming off the knee injury though. From his knee blowing up the season before.
Bro, these men averaged 12 and 14 was first team NBA.
Dog, do you remember? You know how hard it used to be to make All NBA.
This is very perplexing to me, man.
It was hard. Like it was a couple of years where Kobe and Shaq ain't make first team.
This is like
it used to be like a real task to make All NBA.
We didn't travel all the way around the world and we got back to the wrong point. It's your fault we're here, Ed.
How's it my fault?
Because you brought it up.
What?
You know what?
Man, you always want to blame me for everything, man.
Because I can't blame myself. No, man, before we end the show, we got to talk about the WNBA and that woman good.
Shout out to Candace Parker, the legend Candace Parker.
Oh, my goodness.
They thought she was done. They said she was done.
They were throwing dirt on her.
No, she won defensive. This is kind of a weird stat. She won Defensive Player of the Year in the WNBA and didn't make All NBA defense. All WNBA defense.
Did Marc Gasol do that?
Yeah, there's different people who vote on those awards. So, like,
it's crazy though. That's insane though. The same thing. So, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Marc Gasol having the same thing, but we would have wanted it to happen another way. Marc Gasol.
Yeah, like he should have never won Defensive Player of the Year because he was guard to pick and roll.
And shout out to Kylie Copper too, because Copper did her thing, got the finals
MVP. Yeah, she definitely was, and she got one. I don't know if you're about to say this.
The stare down.
Hey, she got one of the coldest WNBA pictures I've seen.
That was so nasty.
It reminded me of that one movie. What's the movie called? Where God, man, the dude that played Fred Hamilton. What's his name?
Oh yeah, was that in Get Out that he did that?
No, he didn't do that.
Wasn't Get Out. No, that wasn't
another movie.
Yeah, no, that was.
Think about it been.
I said not one thing to help me know.
I know, man. But it's like a meme where the dude, like, he looking at the other dude, funny man. But minus all that, she got one of the coldest WNBA pictures I've seen in a long time to stare at. So,
yeah, man,
shout out to the Chicago Sky first championship in franchise history. Shout out to Candace Parker. She went back home, delivered a championship. Chicago, this is for you.
You.
Shout out to her, man. So that's a
So
definitely
Curry come back to the 3-3-0 and deliver one like I'm messing with
times, man.
Yeah,
It's
it's
getting
time
late.
to go,
It's
man.
getting late.
Zig,
I'm saying if we go claim
Zig sleepy drunk, man. You know, you get some sleepy, you feel like you drunk, man.
Oh, Zig and the Titans are up 17-13 on the Bills that you thought were going to blow them out.
yeah, there's still a lot of football left to play.
Yeah, there's still a lot of game left, man. Yeah, so shout out to Chicago Sky, man. I'm extremely proud of Candace Parker. I don't know that woman, but that's pretty dope to go back home and win a championship. Even after just 2 years ago, she was voted as most overrated player by the players, by other players. So that's pretty wild. So that's pretty dope and good on you. Good on you.
Good on you.
Good
Oh,
on you.
I want to add something about that. After the game, the Phoenix Mercury, Tarazi's team, they lost and they chose not to do media at all. They just skipped out on it. I wanted to hear what y'all think about like the losing team having to do media instead of.
They lost. I'll be pissed too. I don't want to talk about them. I just lost some shit. I've never been a professional. You've been in that kind of atmosphere.
I lost 4 finals before.
So I don't know. How would you feel about it?
I lost 4 finals. I lost a couple cup championships. So I lost more than I've won. But when you lose, you don't want to talk, man. And if you don't have to, I don't know the rule in the WNBA. Is there a rule or a fine? If you don't have to, I wouldn't. But if you got to go up there and talk, you got to go talk. Like, that's a part of it, man. Like, unfortunately, the way sports are now, talking is a part of it. Like, good or bad, like you have to do it. I don't like it. I think it's a pretty bad part of it, but it's a part of it. Like, you got to take the good with the bad, especially with vets like Diana Taurasi. Like, I felt like that with that type of veteran leadership, I feel like you should be out there. You should,
I want to say also.
Yeah, they on her for she broke a door after they lost.
Before that came out, I think it was reported that she actually went up to every individual Chicago Sky player and congratulated them on their win. And she just didn't talk to the media.
Yeah, she didn't talk to the media. She broke a door.
I ain't mad at that personally.
We see how.
Long as you don't kind of like, you know what I mean, get a cold shoulder to the players, show them love. I don't give a fuck what you do to me.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, but it's just it's just expected
For her as being voted to go.
Yeah, it's expected. I mean, I'm not mad at her. Like, I don't care if you talk or if you don't talk, but it's expected.
Interesting that the game is in a growth period for them, and so these things that you might have been able to get away with before, like they bring attention now. So,
but
it's a good problem.
We didn't talk about them losers. Shout out to the Chicago.
Let's go Sky,
baby. And that is the Mid-Range Ain't Dead podcast. This is your guy, Rome Trav.
Hey, it's your boy Amp Anderson. Winners only.
It's your boy Ziggy. Oh, man.